now, 2 o'clock a.m. my time in Las Vegas. So I'd say about a half hour ago is the first time I felt sick. So you take from 10:08, okay? You go from 10:08 until a half hour ago, all right? Don't feel sorry for me. I mean, people were killed. But everybody I was with was worried about their life. And it didn't matter where
I'm like I said, don't feel sorry for me because people were killed. Of course.
But your instinct, as you said, your instinct was to run. Get out of that.
Okay, my initial instinct was run, and then I get up. I'm in the front row, and people. Here's the chilling part of it, George. People still didn't understand, like when the shooting started, that a shooting was happening. They were like in that frozen moment, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, I hope these people don't get hit.
Yeah,
right?
You know, it's so much noise and so much distraction. I don't think people really realize it was gunshots. Because in Vegas, every now and again, you might have fireworks. Boo, boo, pow, 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 pow. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, you know, it's Vegas. You feel me?
That's when I laid on the ground. I'm pulling people down. Get down. Lay down. I felt energy from these bullets. I didn't get hit, but I felt it. It felt like it was right next to me. And then I waited till it stopped. That's when I then sprinted down these steps. That's when I saw a guy near this door open saying, get in here because you're in the line. Well, we were running within the line of fire. Now get in this room. And then the girls in there crying and just trying to keep people calm, trying to wait till the next round stopped. You know, I know you have kids. I think I met you when you met my little girl last year when I was in the studio. I've got 11-year-old girls. Like but then you're thinking about that. Is your time up? You know, yeah, I'm not going to be able to raise my daughter. It's like, but then the other part of me was like, no, I'm going to stay strong. I'm not going to go down. What I decided though, George, was I'm not going to go down, sit in that room. Okay, that was a temporary situation because I was thinking of Orlando and those poor folks in there who were kind of held hostage in there. And I'm like, that's not going to happen here. And the minute the shooting stopped, that's when I went up to the front of the door and the guy's like, get everybody out of here.
How long were the breaks, Brian, how long were the breaks between the bursts of fire?
I would say probably about a minute. They were not a big break. I mean, the first round was the longest, George. I mean, it could have been more than 15 seconds. I'm not kidding you. I mean, and I'm not just saying, how people say, like, oh, wow, it sounded really long, but it really wasn't. This was really long. Okay, it tried at least 15 seconds of just assault rifle shooting, and then I'd say maybe a minute went by before I was able to get into this little dark little room, like a little production room, and then the shooting started again. And then there were 2 more rounds of shooting inside that room before we took the chance. We were taking a big chance because, like, when we exit that room, George, we're next to the street. Just so your viewers can picture, we're contiguous to Las Vegas Boulevard. Like, we're right next to the fence, which is right next to Las Vegas Boulevard, and that's right next to crossing the street to the Mandalay Bay. We were not on the other side. We were right where it was happening. So when we ran in the open, we were fair game to being shot. So it's like we had to just time it, take a risk of, a leap of faith and pray and just run.
Brian, I can only imagine that time slows down in a situation like that.
Yeah, it's right. It does, and you break it down in your mind. When you're laying on the ground, you're pulling people down. You're at that moment. I know it sounds like people say this all the time, but it absolutely does feel like an eternity. Like you're laying face down in an aisle. Imagine this, right? Laying in an aisle.
Listen to that.
You got a child you want to raise, and you got people next to you, and people are not laying down, and it seemed like forever. And then I got to tell you, the scariest moment though was standing up. Standing up, I had to make a move, and I make a move to run. And then I'm hearing shooting again, and I see this little door, and then that was like a blessing from God, that door was open, and that guy was a hero. Whoever that guy was out front, hero, getting people in there. And then the time, George, the time went the slowest inside that room, because that's when I felt the most about, I was emotional. I was having heart palpitations because of the feeling about what happened in Orlando. Like, what if he closes the door? What if I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. We don't know where they're going to kill off the fence. There's like a small fence right there, George.
Yeah,
Right there, right
you don't
there.
know
They
what to
jump
do
the
in the
fence.
situation like
And we're
that.
right there. We're in the room, we're done. We can't run anywhere. So it seemed like forever in that room. Once we got out of the room and started running, then I felt like there was more of a hope that we would survive.
Were people using their phones trying to call others outside, or pretty silent?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody. I mean, everybody was trying to contact somebody. Everybody was crying. People hurt. I mean, everybody was just crying. I mean, if you think about, George, what we were doing, we were all there. A lot of people working hard, want to take a weekend just to relax, and I stay an extra day. And then, by the way, that's running through my mind. And I'm like, I was supposed to fly back to LA at 7:50 tonight. And I'm like, okay, am I going to die tonight? Am I going to die tonight because I made a decision not to fly back, right? That's running through my mind.
This nigga sound like he trying to write a book.
That, right? But everybody was emotional. This wasn't like a bunch of courageous people like, oh, this is nothing. Oh, we don't have to worry about this. Everybody was crying. Even when I ran to the Tropicana, people just standing there sobbing, like crying. It's the unknown. What people don't get when something like this happens is it's the unknown. You don't know where it comes. That's another thing, George. It's not like you can look and see something and then go the other way, right? That was another thing that was just, it was.
You didn't know it was only one shooter.
No, George, I'm telling you, it was like it was tormenting. It's like we're thinking it's coming from different areas. Then I'm getting some people texting me as I'm running. Somebody texted me, oh, there's a shooter at the New York. Then in our minds we're thinking, oh my God, there's people, there's more. They're taking down the city. Anywhere we run is not going to be safe. Imagine that. I mean, this wasn't like, okay, just run to the
people
corner
thinking it was a terror attack.
Okay.
He just said,
There was never a moment.
People like, damn, everywhere they're taking down the city. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what was going on.
Where I felt safe. We were hiding. There were little kids next to me, 2 kids. We were planning where to go if the shooters come in the back door. If they come in from the casino area, here's where we're going. Here's where we're going to run out here to try to get to the street. We're trying to plot ways to be ahead of the game because we had to be on our game thinking we were thinking there could be shooters at every casino. We didn't know. That's unknown.
How long did it take for the police to get on the scene from what you could tell? There must have been several security guards there.
It was fantastic. I mean, it's emotional for me. I mean, I saw one police officer, like, I felt so bad for him. I hope he's okay. He was right near the fence. Like, remember I told you about the little room that they put us in? I saw this one police officer. He just was so brave. He was like jumping over the fence, like to go.
Because if you ever been to Vegas, you know that police is on every corner. Police is everywhere. They on foot. You know what I'm saying? So shit, of course they gonna respond hella quick.
Just everywhere. I mean, police cars, ambulances. Everywhere.
But even in those minutes and hours after the shooting, after that first shooting, you said you were still scared. We had gotten these other reports that there were
martial law right now and all that
across the city. They were shutting down the airport. People breaching the runways. Pure chaos.
Right. That was making it worse for us. Imagine if you were in the middle of it, right? And then you're running for your life, and then okay, you're running. And every step I took toward the north part of the stadium to get out of it, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna live to see another day.
You feel me? Being somewhere there's a lot of people, and then motherfuckers just shooting. You don't know where it's coming from. All you know is shit. Try to run and take shelter somewhere. Take cover somewhere.
Where in the world am I gonna go? Where am I gonna go to feel safe? Right? And it was like the worst nightmare ever. It's like everybody just George, until I ran through Tropicana, I saw flip-flops, I saw tennis shoes, they were all over the floor. People just lost. They were dropping things. And then when we were running, and here's another thing, we're running in the middle of the casino, and then people are thinking, we're dead meat. We're in the middle of a casino now? What if the shooter gets in the casino? We're done, right? But everywhere we went, it was like a chess game. It's like that we couldn't win.
So you said it was only about a half an hour ago where you felt safe. Where were you exactly?
So I initially ran from the location of the concert. I finally made my way out. We had to sneak through these little bleacher exits. Like imagine like hundreds of people trying to get through a little area where only one or two people can get through. Imagine that too, George. Okay, there's still a shooter behind us, and then we all had to take a deep breath, and we're all like, okay, one at a time, one at a time. Yeah, one at a time while kind of up to get killed, right? Like imagine that. It wasn't like there was a huge exit at the end there where a bunch of people could run out. We were going through these little maneuvering through these little areas to get through a little one or two people could go out at the same time. Okay, then when we get out of there where everybody's screaming, run north, run north. Okay, what's the next casino north of there? The Tropicana. So I get to the Tropicana, walk over the bridge. I'm standing there trying to catch my breath. All of a sudden I hear somebody screaming again. There's another shooter. He's in the Tropicana. Get out. So we start running north again through the casino. That's where I see everybody's shoes, flip-flops everywhere, clothing dropped, purses dropped. I end up, who knows how I got there, George? I end up at the MGM, right? I end up at the MGM, then I get a text from somebody saying, there's an active shooter in the MGM, right? So everybody starts screaming in the MGM, screaming. They go, get out of the MGM. So they ran us from the MGM to the MGM's credit. I give them a lot of credit. They had a plan in place. They ran us all to what's called the MGM Conference Center. It's like a building contiguous to the MGM. They didn't think a shooter would go over there, right? They're going to stick with the green.
Fucking write a script off of this nigga.
So I give MGM a lot of credit. So they ran us all over there. We sit there in these little rooms, like little conference rooms. Everybody's just hiding there. I mean, imagine that. And we're looking at these doors. And by the way, George, there were doors at the end of this conference room. And I'm not blaming anybody, but there's no police officers there. There's a parking lot there. So we're thinking, okay.
Man, it ain't hard to conceal something in. You know what I'm saying?
From the casino area, at least we can run. Yeah, ways to go. If he comes from this way,
you heard of the trench coat mafia, right? They had AKs in the motherfuckers tucked away. And nobody knew about it. You know what I'm saying? That Columbine shit.
Been able to speak to your daughter yet?
She's sleeping. I haven't. I haven't been able to sleep to speak to her, George. But I know you're a great father, and I know that you know what it's like to be going through something like this, where you think about. Think about the different types of people that were in this concert, George. I mean, it's anybody from like 20-year-old all the way up to there were some elderly folks there. So you've got young kids, you've got parents, and then that's just what was going through my mind. I mean, what is this it? Is this it? I mean, is this the country I live in? And I speak about civil rights issues. I mean, I'm a lawyer by trade. I'm actually out there fighting for people's civil rights and freedoms. And here I am. I'm like, is this how I'm going to die? This was going through my head when I was in that room, that little dark room. I'm like, is this my
his life flashed before his eyes.
Like I fought to protect people, and I'm going to die because of maniac people, and my daughter's not going to have a father. I mean, this is just me. I mean, this is what I went through pales in comparison now to these innocent folks that were just out enjoying themselves.
We are all thinking of them right now. So many victims of this shooting. Yeah. And thank goodness for you that your daughter will be able to wake up to your voice this morning.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Brian Ross, the picture he paints of
chilling, not knowing where the bullets are coming from, with the reports apparently false of shooters at other hotels as they run through the labyrinth of the strip up and down different hotels. Just stunning, and an indication of the kind of chaos one person with an automatic weapon can cause.
And his words so telling. He's in that small room, and his mind, like so many others, like all of us, goes immediately back to that last mass shooting in Orlando.
Exactly.
More than 50 people killed back in June 2016.
Right. And that shooter in that case had a semi-automatic and did such damage. A number of people in a closed area, but it's just an indication of this automatic weapon that we can tell by the burst. It was a fully automatic weapon, which are extremely difficult to obtain. They are illegal, and even on the black market, they're hard to find. You have to have a special license, which takes years to get, and people who trade back and forth with the special license. The guns cost $55,000 to $60,000. This was clearly something well planned and thought out in advance, not a spur of the moment attack.
It ain't that hard to get guns like that. What is he talking about?
In Las Vegas, Matt, I
ain't that hard to get.
Mike Cronk, who you're
It
speaking
ain't
with
that hard to
earlier.
get guns like that. You feel me?
That's right. Mike Cronk, we found him sitting actually right here on the curb, and he wasn't wearing a shirt because he had used it to stanch the blood of one of his friends, and he was sitting there with his head in his hands, and there's still blood on his hands, and he had been through one of the most harrowing experiences I've ever heard, and we just started talking to him, and Mike, maybe you can just tell me your story. I mean, where were you tonight?
We were at the Route 91 concert, and been there all day waiting for Jason Aldean, and it's real surreal, actually. You know, everybody's having a good time, and then all of a sudden you hear some popping going on, and I don't think anybody really understood what it was. And then my buddy, after a little bit of popping, my buddy's like, I got hit. So my buddy got shot 3 times, and then everybody knew there was a shooter, so everybody pretty much dove on top of each other, cut down. It was a lot of chaos, people trampling each other and, you know, trying to get away, and it seemed like forever, you know, but we're just trying to take care of people that are wounded. You know, there's a lot of people that were really selfless and actually stayed with people.
Just a little closer to you, Mike. Now you're an avid hunter, and so you recognized immediately that this was not just gunfire, but it was automatic gunfire, coming in rapid bursts.
Yeah, it was very obvious. Whoever was shooting it was a fully automatic, and they had to reload. So whether there's one person or two, but there was a break between clips being, you know, shot out.
Now you describe it rather casually, but you know, your best friend, you're here on your 48th birthday trip. You're a retired teacher, and you came with your best friend, and he took 3 bullets to the chest, as close as I am to you right now.
True. It was hard. You know, I saw him there, and I was like, I wasn't going to leave him, so we had to, you know, there was an EMT there. Somebody was an EMT. There was lots of, you know, awesome ex-military people that were trained, so we got him compressed, and that's, you know, kept compression on his chest. He actually put his finger in the hole, you know, so we, you know, don't move your finger, and we could keep the compression on, and probably stayed like that for at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes before we finally made a decision that we needed to get him over the fence so we get him under the stage, so at least we knew we were safe dealing with him.
And so you and 3 other guys had to physically haul him over a fence in order to get him under the stage and to a protected area.
Yeah, we got him over and then slid him under the stage, and we were under there, and another awesome lady came over and helped compress, and so there's, you know, I'm no hero, but there was tons of heroes out there there's a lot of heroes out there.
It's pretty astonishing to think that you guys were physically plugging his bullet wounds with your fingers.
Yeah, Rob, you know, my friend Rob, he had his finger in the hole. He's like, don't take it out. He's like, leave your finger there, we'll compress over the top of it. So we just had, you know, shirts and whatever we could, you know.
And then you couldn't get him out. There was no ambulance there because there's still an active shooting situation.
Correct.
How did you manage to get him out?
Well, there was a couple, I want to say they're EMT, first responders, and we got him out from under the stage and ran him around the back, and we got him on a cart, and we drove around the side where there was a triage center, and one of the cops, we were going to throw him in his car, but then something happened where he had to go, and we ended up loading up a pickup truck, a civilian pickup truck with 4 wounded people to get out. But we got turned around.
4 wounded people in that pickup truck,
truck,
as well as you guys.
Yes. Yeah, there was 1 person with each person, so 8 of us in the back of the pickup, and we got turned around, so we couldn't go. And then we ended up right back here on this street, right where those cop cars are, and got him in an ambulance, and that's where one young man passed away. You know, as we were carrying him out of the.
One of the guys you were with actually died.
It was somebody I did not know, but.
Somebody in the truck with you?
Yes, we had him in the ambulance, and we were loading him in the ambulance, and the guy said, you know, let's set him down here, and so I set him down with myself, and the young man passed away.
He literally died in your arms?
He did. It's been a tough night.
For so many people here.
So many people died and are wounded. very sad.
Sorry you had to experience that. That's just
Me too. But I'm glad some people are safe, and it's a terrible tragedy. I mean, I don't know what other words you can use for it.
We got a piece of good news a few minutes ago, though. Your friend Rob, the one who was shot 3 times, including bullets to the chest, his daughter texted you.
Yep.
What'd she say?
He said, "Hey, Dad talked to us, said he's going to be okay." So that took a load off me, but still, so many other people. I mean, it could have been me. I was right next to my buddy. That could have been me that got shot. So, very thankful right now.
Did you actually hear the bullets hit? Did you hear?
You actually heard some of the bullets hit the fencing. Yeah, it's aluminum, and that's how that's pretty much how we kind of knew this was not firecrackers. And then my buddy got shot, obviously, but we did hear some hit the aluminum fencing.
I mean, you're incredibly strong. You're standing through this. You're an avid hunter. You've been in situations that are chaotic and maybe not similar to this, but difficult. But it's just impressive how you've withstood all of this.
I try to keep your head, and do what you can. I mean, like I said, there's tons of people that were true heroes tonight.
And George, we talked a lot about luck as well tonight, and Mike's girlfriend actually fell ill earlier today, and so she decided to stay in the hotel. Or she could have been along with you guys too.
She was. She actually came to the concert and left like about an hour in. It was too hot, So I'm very thankful that she got sick, to be honest.
Anyway, I really appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. So we'll talk to you in a little bit. George, there's something else that I want to mention about tonight, and that is when we talk about this shooter opening fire automatically, it took planning, not only to know his target, he had to set up, apparently, the room with, a view and a balcony to the concert venue. Then he had to bring in a certain amount of ammunition that he knew sufficed to whatever degree that he needed, and they had to know when to open fire, how to do it. This took planning, something that is not something that happened off the cuff, not something that was spontaneous as in so many lone shootings that we've seen. This is someone who was plotting this out, who painstakingly